Just quick update for you guys. We will go ahead and rule out Jalen Naylor and Byron Murphy. Just couldn't get Byron, turned over enough to get him to be available this weekend. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him some work and get him back out there with us next week. Questionable players: Jonathan Bullard, Jordan Hicks, Alex Mattison, Brian O'Neill, Ivan Pace, and Harrison Phillips. All will, kind of go through their post-practice process today. We'll get together and figure out what that looks like for availability for Sunday, and then Sheldon Day and Daniil Hunter will go through without an injury designation this weekend. I'm excited for the whiteout game, division opponent, Christmas Eve. Our stadium's been phenomenal all season long, tons of energy, juice. I know our guys are really looking forward to getting back home with our home crowd, and heck of a challenge coming in with the Detroit Lions.
Something happened with Ivan today, or was he on the injury report before?
He just had a little bit of a kind of shoulder soreness. He just didn't take his full allotment of reps, but I feel good about where IP's at, and like I said, I got to see how he responded to the work today. Just wanted to make sure we tagged him questionable just in case.
Surprising to see Jordan full the whole week. Was that your expectation?
It was just based upon where I kind of had figured he would be coming into this week, and he handled the week really well. We're gonna kind of get together and look at what that looks like, whether we activate him or not. But Jordan's been flying around all week.
With Brian, how much work was he able to do throughout the week?
Yeah, he got some team reps today, some individual. One of those guys that we're going to have conversations about, knowing where we are in the season. It's a incredibly important game, but we've got to make sure that sometimes there's a lot of dialogue that goes into it, medical evaluations, making sure we're looking out for what's in the best interest of the player, and then making sure that we're trying to have these guys available much more than just this weekend. So we want everybody we can have out there for a challenge like this, but we've got to be smart.
With Byron out, just what's your level of confidence with some of the young players in the secondary?
Yeah, we've seen kind of at different times this year, several different guys step up in different roles, but with Byron out, plays such a significant role, really in the base and nickel package. It's really going to be a multiple guys stepping up in some different roles depending on what's in the game. But those guys have all been developing and all been working their way into the lineup at different times this year. I think Flo, Durante, Hutch, those guys have been getting those guys ready throughout the season for moments like this where they've got to step in against a really impressive skill group and a really darn good quarterback, and we're going to have to defend and try to get some pressure and ultimately see if we can, put together a good day on defense, which is my expectation with that group.
What has been the challenge of just having different offensive linemen show up who weren't here for training camp and then popping in like, Dalton and David? Yeah. How's that?
Yeah, you'd love to have the same group out there consistently all season long and getting every rep together for communication purposes, just like you'd love to have the same quarterback, working hand in hand. Communication-wise with them, but that has not been our story here in 2023, and we're continuing to prepare these guys, and they do a great job getting ready to roll, maximizing the practice reps, and then we go out there and we compete like crazy for 3.5 hours and on Sunday, and then coach them up and try to get better and better. And we've seen the improvement. We've seen kind of that unit be able to handle, whether it's a guy going down here or there. And then the next man up, like a Quest stepping in there like he has been huge multiple times this season.
So Jalen Naylor, I think it's been 2 weeks for
Yeah.
him. Is he having a particularly hard time there?
It just was kind of the initial kind of getting through some of the early part of the different phases. And, he's definitely recovering. He's definitely doing much better. Just couldn't quite get him to a place where we felt great about him being available this weekend. My hope is, we can get him fully cleared early next week. But as always with these things, I defer to the doctors and make sure that everybody medically and most importantly the player feels that they're ready to roll and kind of all in. So when that happens, Jalen will be back out there.
What's your sense of where Alex Mattison is?
Yeah, he got some limited work in today, and I think we still have 48 more hours. It feels like where we can get some more treatment and see where he's at. It was a good week for Ty and Kene and Miles and Debo, so we've kind of gone about it where it truly is going to end up being pretty close to a game time decision in that regard, and you know, we'll adjust accordingly, but hoping to have Alex.
With the longer game, how much did they kind of force you into different personnel groups, just those two running backs they have, and how committed they've been to it?
Yeah, I think what makes it tough is they'll do, you know, they'll spread you out with both backs in the game. It's not just Gibbs that comes in and you know, runs the gun run. Montgomery's a really good gun runner, and then Gibbs will run the dot runs, the different power schemes, gap schemes that they have, zone schemes. They truly have kind of a 1-2 punch, and both those guys are really good players. So I think as far as our personnel groupings, you know, we'll have a plan for how we want to match their 11 personnel, their 2 tight end groups. They're you know, they'll get bigger than that, you know, just like we will sometimes with the 3 tight ends out there. They've got some depth at that position, and then normally they'll have the pass plays to match it and possibly spread you out from there. So we've got to, you know, really have ownership and kind of a mastery of the call that Flo has us in, and then how the adjustments take place, whether whatever, you know, we see final formation and what we see from a standpoint of what call we want to be in the noise with our fans hopefully going crazy there, making it hard on their offense. It's going to be a challenge for our guys, and we would gladly deal with the communication challenge for us, because we know how much it is for our opponent.
Byron's injury like pop up mid-game, or is that something post-game?
I think it was early on in the football game, and that just goes to show you how tough he is. Battled through it, fought through it, and you know, I think that's one guy. You know, sometimes you look at him and you just, no matter what the injury report says, you're just expecting him to be out there just because of, you know, how he's been throughout his career and really since he's been here with us. So unfortunate, you know, but I think this is in Byron's best interest, and try to have him ready to roll for next week.
Kevin, there was a kind of a viral clip that went around of Mike McDaniel cursing himself out for bad play calls. I guess I was wondering about how you evaluate your own play calls after a game, and if you swear at yourself in meetings when you're going through those things.
Yes, I absolutely have. By no means is there ever a game where you look back and you say every single call on that one was just perfect, and a lot of it's results based, right? You might feel good about the call in the moment based upon your prep or how we practiced a certain play, but if the result's not there, you're always going to look back on it, and it's going to go right there on the list of others that didn't have the success in the moments that, you know, you needed it, and if it didn't have success, there was a better call to be had, and that's where you know, I always try to, you know, you guys know I always try to, I'm not just communicating to you guys, you know, my ownership and some of the things that we haven't done well. Our players will be the first ones to hear it all the time, because I know that that's their feelings towards our team, and they're always accountable, and I try to do the same thing for those guys. I did enjoy that clip, though. I'm glad you guys aren't always in our team meetings to hear all the things that I say. That is not as easy as just throwing a clip up there. I mean, Mike's phenomenal, though. I'm a big fan of Mike.
We'll be doing Hard Knocks next year.
I have no comment on that.
You mentioned some of the young corners. How have they done in terms of tracking balls in the air? They've had a couple of moments in the last couple of weeks where trying to make plays at the end of games.
Yeah, it's been critical, Ben. I mean, you look at some of those plays, and you got to credit some of the, you know, whether it's Sutton or whether it's Higgins, you know, guys that's what they do. They're 50-50 elite, you know, ball trackers and finishers on the football. And even though you can be right there to make a play, you know, I always go back to what was your role and responsibility? Are you you know, where's my leverage supposed to be? Where am I supposed to be in regards to where my help may be, to try to maximize not having it be a one-on-one? Can we get a second Viking or multiple guys to the party over there? And, you know, that we've had some plays made on us, and credit the quarterbacks for putting in the spot for those guys going and getting it, and those guys making the play. But we work the drills. We try, you know, we bring guys in here that we feel have, you know, good ball skills and guys that can make plays on the football when they get their ops. And that's the other side of it is, you know, when we get those 1 or 2 or 3 turnover opportunities in the game, can we go make that play? It's not only making the ones that we can, you know, get those PBUs and make sure those critical plays aren't completions, but can we take the football away as well? And we've had some opportunities this year that we're really close in that regard, and you know, we're not in the mode right now where we're really looking backwards, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all those things. It's about Sunday at 12 o'clock and knowing the challenge that we're going to have, especially with this offense, and our defense knows that. They've been preparing all week and had a really good week of preparation. You guys good? Thank you.